Cloud.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Angela Lehman with Living Well Now, joined here with Andrea for our second week of business training, April 10th, 2026. Um, Andrea, as we get started today, and I'm sharing my screen really quickly, I am aware that you're just grabbing an oil. Tell us about that.
I'm just grabbing an oil. Yeah. So, everybody who's on the call, or if you're watching on replay, grab yourself an oil because we know the oils are so powerful for what was the word that you just used with me earlier, Ange?
Intention.
Not intention. Well, yes, for intention, absolutely, but just for shifting, right?
State.
For state. Yes, yes, for changing or for changing your state. So if you're coming to the call and you're a little bit sleepy, you got to bed a little bit late last night, you're stretching, you're like, okay, I'm here. Grab an oil and throw it on because it really does help us to change state as those molecules travel through the olfactory. Grab something that's going to help you with focusing on intention and your business, what you're wanting more of, what you're wanting less of, what you're choosing less of. And here we go.
So example, today I'm using tangerine because I love a citrus oil for fresh and bright in the morning. First thing, it's 7 o'clock here in Arizona. And I also have this beautiful old labeled bottle of Gathering that I've actually been using at my desk for the last couple of months since we've been hosting Wellness Connections. And Andre and I were just getting so excited because this intentional inviting that we've been doing is causing lots of people to say yes to tonight's event. So we're very excited to and we know some of you are hosting Young Living Day as well. It's an energetic time. It's a spring launch. There's some new products that are going to be revealed tomorrow morning. So we're just really, really excited for how people are showing up and showing out for that. So awesome, awesome. Excuse me. I want to, before we get further and down the road, I want to celebrate Carrie O'Connor and Andrea Lehman and Nan Gillespie, who are all on the Living Well Now leaderboard for the Wellness Weekend Incentive. Andrea, tell us why this has been so motivating to you and what's been your strategy since this was announced a couple months ago.
Well, okay, so balance and burn. I as somebody who and y'all like are working with a lot of women in your business, and it's one of the complaints that I hear a lot is that people are having a hard time with losing weight. They're doing the same things that they were, and it's just not budging. So when this came out, I was really excited about it to have a natural solution from a company that we trust to offer to people. Where I was motivated in terms of the incentive, which is like a wellness weekend that's going to be happening in September, was that we knew exactly what we had to do. Sometimes when there's contests, right, it's a little nebulous. And you guys have seen this with like Summer Sizzle and stuff. Like it's a little nebulous because you're like, okay, well, how do I know if I'm going to be one of the top 10? Like, what do I actually have to do? So I loved that this was different from what contests typically are, where you just have to be like one of the top 10 or the top 12 or whatever. And instead, it's here's the number of points you have to get, and here's how you get the points. So I loved that. It gave me something concrete to go after, and I love a good challenge. So, yeah, so that's what I want to say about that is it's made Ange and I kind of rethink Summer Sizzle and how we do that. And so you're going to see this summer that we do points a little bit differently and that you're going to have a target to hit for Summer Sizzle. And if you hit that target, you automatically earn a spot into the Summer Sizzle retreat. So I don't know. I hope you all find that more motivating as well. I will tell you, okay, I would love some cheering on and support and some prayers because it's in the last month of this challenge. And when you're getting there and then it feels like it's roadblock, roadblock, roadblock. That's how this month has started. Like I was really enrolling people in January, February, March, and this month I'm like, nobody's enrolling. What's going on? So I would love any of your positive thoughts and energy because I am focused on earning a spot and believing that that's still going to happen by the end of the month here. So there we
Awesome,
go.
awesome, awesome. Cheering you on
Thanks.
with that as well. Okay. Last week, just we want to do just a quick recap. We talked about preparing your short story. Most of you hopefully downloaded the worksheet to help you kind of strategize the steps and what you wanted to say. We are really trying to not word vomit on people. And by having this opportunity to prepare our stories in 5 short steps. This is going to help you say what you want to say succinctly without giving them all the details that they didn't ask for, right? Like this is a short story on purpose. And as a little motivation, we want to show you a video from Lacee Muller from Colorado, who's going to talk more about why this is so important.
I want to encourage you that we know that these are the steps that have worked for us for years to grow our business. These aren't the steps that we hope will work. We know that this is the things that we've done, the roadmap, the building blocks of our business for years of building a business with purpose and passion. So let's do step one. I want to encourage you that every single story has a beginning, a before and an after. So as you begin, I want you to write down, what changes were you seeking? How did you feel before that made you place that first order with Young Living? What is it that you were seeking for your home? Cleaner products, better sleep for your babies, less tummy issues. What were those things? The best brand partners are products of the product. Always ordering something new, always on loyalty rewards, because as we use these products, we will build a wealth and like bank of stories that we can go and authentically share with other people. I want you to ask yourself, why Young Living? Why did I start? Why was I seeking a change? There's always a before and after, and this is where the magic is. In your authentic stories, the things that you've seen, no scripts, no fluff, people want to know what worked for you. You are the magic in your business. I'm going to give you a real quick before framework, okay? This is a really great way to think of your story. You can think of, I was exhausted and tired as a mom. What I found was drinking Nisha every day helped me beat the afternoon slump. Now I share these products with everyone who will listen, and I can help moms feel better so they have the energy to keep up with their kids. And the best part is I can do it all with my babies on my lap. I'm making an income while making an impact via sharing my authentic stories and how these products have changed my life. Now you have your story, and that's the magic. It's important to remember that people buy what you do. They don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. So you really need to connect with an authentic story. So you have your story. Now you know that you are the magic. Let's connect to your why. Why Young Living? Why is this paycheck going to make a difference for your family? Why are you going to be encouraged to share? This why is going to be your anchor. You're going to anchor to that why. It's going to be your true north, the direction of where you're going. And it's going to help you when you come across those days that you want to give up. Maybe you don't want to share with others that day. Maybe it feels hard. Maybe you feel stuck in your business. That why and anchoring to the why you do this and your authentic stories and your true values is what's going to keep you going. A really great way to do this is write down 5 values. If it's truth, safety, peace, what are those top 5 values that you have? And what is it about this business that's going to help you reach those in a greater way in your life? Connect to that, anchor to that. Remember that you are the magic, and that's going to be what keeps you going. We have such a great business and the best products in the world, and sharing them with others is truly just such a gift. I hope you guys are excited. You write down your why, your before and afters, and remember that you are the magic.
Yay.
Hi, friends. I'm excited to
Go
welcome
ahead
you
and
into
stop
the
her
8
saying
steps
that
for
again.
success with step number 1.
Lacee, some of you met when we were in Colorado. She was the leader of that crew there for the Wellness Connection. So thought it was fun to bring back a familiar face. All right, Andrea, we want to give these guys a chance to share their stories. You're muted.
I think the biggest thing to remember with these stories is that it doesn't have to be formal. It's not like you have like this perfect like script, going through. But the more we have just like stories of what was going on and why we're using the product and what we're seeing, people love stories. People love to hear testimonials. It's much more impactful than like here are all the ingredients in this and why you should be taking it. So just have those in your back pocket, like on different products that you love and that you find yourself talking about, right? Because you probably each have those 4 to 5 products that are the biggest ones that you're talking about with people on a normal basis. So last week um, we practiced writing the stories. We looked at the format. So for those of you who were on the call last week, we would love to hear 1 or 2 of you sharing. Just a story, okay? Very informally. I'm looking at who was on last week. I see a handful of you were, yes. Lucinda,
I'll do it.
go for it.
Sorry, okay. So, anyway, my story. I've been a single mom to my 26-year-old special needs daughter for 18 years. I also work full-time outside of the home with special needs young adults. In June of 2021, I finally said enough to feeling sick and tired of feeling sick and tired all the time from both physical, from the weight gain, extra weight gain, and ongoing grief from my son's suicide. What I found was a way to feel better with a packet and a few drops. And I started on the road to financial independence and building a secure future for my daughter through an accidental click of a button. Little did I know that accidental click was one of the happiest accidents that has happened to me, and the best part of my finds have been done within the freedom of my home.
Beautiful.
So,
And that version of it, like I could see if you were speaking on a stage in front of people, like it's beautiful and it's hitting on that you like love the products and the business. Now, if this was just a super casual conversation with somebody online, Lucinda, and I know you're talking about Ningxia Red. I think you're talking about Ningxia Red. So if somebody's talking to you about energy, you're in a conversation and they're like low energy, right? Or they're
mhm.
getting sick all of the time, or they have a lot of inflammation or whatever, and you're wanting to share your story. I'm going to put you on the spot right here. How would you share that same story, but much more casually and actually like saying what you used, and maybe not even necessarily including much of the business, but just to give them like your before and after of Ningxia?
What I would do is I would take out, say, in the packet, and I would actually put Ningxia in there. Or I could add Ningxia back where when I started feeling physically better was by drinking Ningxia Red, which increased my energy.
Awesome. So say it to me without even looking at it. Just tell me your Ningxia story.
In June of 2021, I was asked to do a whole body cleanse reset. One of the main things of that was using Ningxia Red every day, as well as a meal plan. During that time, that 28 days, full cleanse, get rid of, caffeine, gluten, a couple other things, added in Ningxia. And after those 28 days, I continued to drink Ningxia because I found that was one of the items that if I don't have my Ningxia, I don't know exactly what it does to my body, but man, my body can tell me and you what it misses when I don't have it. So, and Ningxia's now become a staple in my loyalty orders every month.
Awesome. Cool. So I just want everybody to know, like, it doesn't have to be this formal, like, I'm reading word for word everything that's on this thing. Like, like, place and time, like, what makes sense to make something super, super casual and quick, but just sharing, this is what I was dealing with before, this is what I was dealing with after. If I'm talking about Ningxia, I'm going to say, I was an exhausted school teacher and I started drinking Ningxia and I stopped coming home and needing a nap every day. So, and it's quick, right? That was like 10 seconds. So people just want to see what was it like before, what was it like after, and they want it quick and they want it easy and they don't want us to get lost in the weeds of it. So awesome. Thank you so much, Lucinda, for sharing that.
Give
Thanks
her
for
a
letting me put you
shout
on the
out. Good
spot.
job, Lucinda. Thanks for going first. Who's going next?
Come on, Sas, give us an off the cuff balance and burn.
Me?
Yeah, give us an off the cuff balance and burn.
All right, I didn't prepare for this. All right.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying off the cuff.
I had lost like 60 pounds during COVID time doing the uh ultimate mind and gut cleanse, and then my life kind of turned upside down, and I had basically gained all that weight back in a matter of like 4 or 5 years. Um I have been trying so hard to stick to that program and do all the things, and I finally I started the balance and burn, and have lost over 13 pounds and 7 inches. since then. Today is day 100 of me doing 500 crunches a day. Um, and I will put my before and after from Thanksgiving picture to like last week in the comments for you guys.
So awesome. Thanks, Sas. All right. We will move on from that, but it's just a reminder to keep identifying the things that have made a shift for you and trying new products so that you have those stories kind of in your back pocket that you can just share with people as they're presenting needs to you. All right, Ange.
So we also want to break this down into something that Andrea was just walking Lucinda through, which was called a one-liner, right? An easy way to show who you help and how. So the first one is your business version. So I am a mom. I'm a mom. I'm an empty nester who helps, and then you fill in the blank with an ideal team member that you would want to serve. I am a empty nest mom who helps midlife women go from worried about retirement to a secure future by sharing Young Living with others, right? Like you can fill this in. I am a blank about your business story. I am a whoever you are. I am a daycare owner. I am a teacher. I am a ministry service worker. I am a ministry volunteer who helps families or stay-at-home moms or whoever your target audience is go from what their current situation is, wondering how they're going to make ends meet, to to overflow or abundance, or be specific, right? Their desired situation, security, could be about extra money at the end of the month, enough money to keep out of the doctor's office, right? When I was first building my business, I was a single mom who helps other families go from not being able to afford copays to not having to go to the doctor at all because you're taking care of your immune systems at home, right? So you can shift this however you want it to go. A product version, I help, and also name your ideal client or team member, go from, I'm sorry, it shouldn't be desired outcome. It should be current situation. Sorry, I'll change that. I'm using an outline from Young Living. So let me go back and do that. Let me show you how this works. So many of you know that in the last 3 years, I have positioned myself as a spiritual care provider here locally in Arizona, and I've done some online serving as well. So for me, I started making this a reality, this product version of reality, by saying, I help midlife women go from feeling overwhelmed and depleted so they can have energy and focus using a variety of tools and aromatherapy, period. So then they see who I'm helping, they see themselves in it because they realize, oh yes, I am also depleted and overwhelmed, and I want more focus. And she has products and tools that help me with those things. So a one-liner is just a simple way for you to break it down so that when you stand up to introduce yourself, you're not kind of tripping over your words. Well, so I clicked an accidental button, Lucinda, right? In a group of people, that might sound a little weird. So you have to say, I chose, right, a secure future for my daughter, even after I'm gone, right? I am a mom of a special needs daughter, 26-year-old special needs daughter, who helps other families, special needs families or families affected by suicide, or however you end up putting this together for yourself, go from uncertainty about the future to confidence about paying for her bills long term because I'm building a nest egg of residual income.
Can I pop in one really quick thing that I forgot to say beforehand? I know in my heart I wouldn't have this story down if I didn't attend that training last year, that first training, and I've taken it 2 more times, and I'm going to one. They're having another wellness, a small wellness connection this coming weekend, and I'm going to be there for that too because, like we said, the community gives me the support that I need and knowing that I'm doing the right thing. But I didn't think stories were that powerful, but they are, and I'm getting proof of that because I'm working with another prospect that saw my balance and burn before and after pictures, and they're like, "What are you doing?" So I'm using the bots again, and fingers crossed.
Sweet.
So in this, exactly, Lucinda. So in this is just another way to take the story that you just made last week and break it down into smaller steps. And I just changed this so that you can understand, think about things that you're facing. What are the pain points that are difficult for you in the season that you're in? Is it Andrea staying up until almost midnight with her teenage son coming back from a date and not sure how she's going to get through today, but she has natural products like Ningxia Red, Nitro, and Zing to keep her going? Go from, right, staying up late waiting for my kids to having more energy with natural energy products instead of a Monster.
And
Or
much like your product stories, these can adapt a little bit, right? You're not going to have just one, if you put it right back up for 1 second, Ange,
yep.
you're not going to have just one product one-liner, right? So it's depending on who you're talking to, who you're talking to. I help moms who are concerned about toxins in their home learn how to create a very simple natural wellness chest using high quality natural products. Or I help moms or I help women in midlife who are feeling like they've tried everything to make the scale budge, do so naturally with products that are actually benefiting their health. Like so you can adapt it to whoever you're in front of that you think is going to speak more to them, right?
We have on our website, on our Living Well Now website, we actually have a couple videos. If you're not sure who your ideal client is, I encourage you to go back to the brand partner tab on our Living Well Now website and really get clear. Like, who is it that you find yourself spending the most time with, talking to, encouraging? And how are you helping them with the things that you know to be true that have helped you? How are you already doing it naturally? Don't make something up. Like I was talking with somebody this week about who she serves in the time of her life, and she was like, oh, maybe I am at a time in my life that I can be a mentor to stay-at-home moms or work from home moms or working moms who are trying to figure out a better routine and balance to their lives. And this might be the ticket that they're looking for, right? As brand partners in this season. So you can go back and figure that out with your ideal client, your ideal team member, so that you can create these one-liners. We also
And
want to
you
remind,
see
go ahead.
And you see that nuance that we really do have. Like, my focus is more on women in middle age, right? So that is my ideal client. However, you can adapt to the person who's in front of you. It doesn't mean that when I'm with a mom with a 2-year-old, I'm not going to say them I help middle-aged women. I'm going to think about what she needs because I can also help her. So you kind of have your ideal client and also you can adapt. All right, keep going.
And also, when you make a statement on social media to your ideal client, other people are going to see that and say, I relate. Rather, whether you're talking, I mean, I laugh because when I say midlife women, my 65-year-olds are like, does that include me? I'm like, well, yes, because now you're going to live to 120. Right? So, of course, it would include you. Okay. So I want to call your attention back to a couple of things. We're going to talk about the memory jogger. You also have access to this in our brand partner group as well in our guide for getting started. This is guide number 2. So you can go back and pull this resource if you want. I also want to remind you to use Olio, which is a free app from Young Living that you can download that has the information that you are looking for in terms of prospect list, as well as your new customer list. So it's what's called a client resource or customer resource manager tool. So Olio can work for that as well. So Andrea, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I will put the Dropbox link about the memory jogger in the chat. We only have just a couple of minutes, so that's going to
Right.
be
So
the
we're not
important, I
so we
think.
won't actually do it, but we want you guys to have this link, the memory jogger, because it's so easy to think that you've thought of everybody in your world, in your life, and then you start looking at this memory jogger and you're like, oh, I do know somebody. Oh, I know somebody here too that you haven't thought of. So we would highly encourage you to take that and spend some time, just even 10 or 15 minutes, just writing down names of people that hadn't come to mind that you could invite to your next event or a gathering or something online that's coming up. Yeah, so we can go on from that, Ange.
So we're just wrapping on, we're kind of
Yep,
at
we're
the,
wrapping. Yep.
yep. So I put in the link, the Dropbox link to the memory jogger. This is the one that Young Living made. You can make it into a little contest for yourself. In fact, I think that's what our giveaway is going to be in the group, Andrea, is we'll
Okay.
do how many people you're able to come up with. Honor system, set your timer for 10 minutes, and then go through the memory jogger and circle or write the names next to the people that come to mind, because it may be a minute that you haven't realized, that you haven't like asked the new people in your life. Maybe you did this 10 years ago, maybe you did this 3 years ago, and maybe now you have a different community to reach out to. So we want honor system 10 minutes, you to come up with as many names as you can and put the total number. You don't need to give us the names, but give us the total number that you came up with in the post that we're going to make in the brand partner group. And then we'll select the person with the highest number. Also, honor system, don't go through and say, oh, Lucinda had 97, so now I have 98. Like, let's be real and honest about what our results that we're coming up with on the memory jogger activity. But you can use the Dropbox link. You can also use the link that's already in the brand partner group as well. And then to close, we want to remind you, how many of you already signed up for the Beach Money freebie, Beach Money Book Club? You've been getting your discussion questions this week. You've been listening to Jordan Adler. I mean, I've been listening to Jordan Adler because for $2.91, $3, I was able to download the book. That was a no-brainer that worked out perfectly with our monthly book club. Andrea, what are you taking away so far from that?
So I've only finished the second chapter. So not a whole lot yet, other than his perseverance and just the vision, even in the face of ridicule, that he could do this. And now here he is, like this extremely successful network marketer, has been for years, but you wouldn't have thought that at the beginning of his journey. So I just put in the chat there, guys, the number to text and what to say. So just type beach to that phone number, and that will get you on like a 10-day where they'll daily just prompt you with what to read and some questions.
Actually, there's two steps. After you text beach, then you text back in money, and then you'll get the 10 days.
Right.
So you've
Yeah.
got to get the book, right? We're giving you the steps. So the beach is the reminder to get the book either on Audible for $3 or order a hard copy. Or then you'll text back money when you have your book, so that then it'll kick off the thing. I'm finding
It'll
that I'm
prompt you to do
listening.
that.
It'll prompt you. I'm listening when I'm walking. And so I'm already to chapter 6 and I'm having to slow down because one of the activities that he mentions in chapter 4 is actually going through and writing your vision as if it's already happened now. And I haven't done that in 10 years. So my kids are big. My kids don't live here anymore for the most part, right? Their stuff lives here, but they don't physically live here. So it's like I am trying to figure out now what this new season is and what I envision for us in the future. So very excited for that. All right, this weekend, 2-hour intensive at my house on Saturday, tomorrow morning. If you live local, please RSVP so we know you're planning to come. Also, we will meet again next Friday. And Andrea, tell us, kind of start to give us a hint of what's coming in May.
So, for those of you who participated in the 2-month boot camp that we did with the Power of Five group, that's happening again starting in May. It's just going to be 1 month, the month of May. It'll be at 7 a.m. Arizona time, so 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. And we will hop on every day, Monday through Friday, or whatever days you can during the week. And there's going to be a focus on the brand partnership and inviting to the brand partnership. So the speakers are going to be talking about brand partnership. There will be 10 minutes of a speaker at the beginning of that time, and then 50 minutes of work where we're inviting to check out the products and the business opportunity. We know that inviting to the brand partnership is the hardest part for most people. And so you're going to get a lot of good like mindset work and tips and ideas for how to share authentically, how to powerfully share the opportunity with other people. So really excited about that. If you are at a point in your business where you're like, okay, I have felt kind of stuck, I'm not growing, or I'm going backwards, it's time. It's time to look at sharing the business opportunity. It's what changed everything for Ange and I over a decade ago, was shifting into sharing the brand partnership. So we'd encourage you all to be a part of that starting May 1st. And yeah, super excited about it. All right, let's have a great weekend. We'll see some of you tonight. I know others of you are hosting your own events, so best wishes with that. And we will see you next Friday. Have a great weekend.